Hey, what's going on? Welcome to G-Ball Vision. Today, Jack Wolf Knives is dropping another stunning slip joint at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. The K9 Jack will be available across a wide range of different retailers, and I'll have what I can linked down below in the description. Now, what's really cool is this is a series that I have not checked out yet in any form or fashion. The K9 Jack, I have not gotten a chance to handle this particular slip joint, and I haven't gotten a chance to handle anything out of the Steel series either. And if you're not familiar with the Steel series, it is a series of knives that Ben has kind of right in the mid-level price point. So he also has a more affordable line, and then he's got a more premium line, but the Steel series is going to fall right in the middle. You're still looking at the same manufacturing process, the same OEM. It's just that the materials are going to be a little bit different. And in the case of this one here, we are going to be looking at 154 cm for the blade steel, which for me, this is the first time I've had anything from Jack Wolf in 154 cm. We're going to be looking at steel instead of titanium here, and it is all polished off and looks very, very good. And then as far as the onlay goes, there's going to be quite a few different iterations that you can choose from. This one here is going to be the saw cut rich light. Now, the K9 Jack definitely has a cool aesthetic to it with the lines, and it actually tends to fill out the hand very well, especially for the size of this knife, and we'll get to that now. So we'll bring out the tape here and see what we're looking at. So we're going to be about 2.5 inches of cutting edge. We'll call it 2 7/8 of total blade, and then this is going to come down there right at 6 5/8. And we'll bring out some comparison knives here. We got the Kaiser Drop Bear up top and the Benchmade Bug Out here on the bottom, and you'll see it's close to the size of the Drop Bear, but a little short on both ends. And a couple of slip joints here. We got the traditional pocket knives Ohio River Jack here. And then we got the QSP Hedgehog Spear Point. And once we step it down to more average slip joint size, you'll see the K9 Jack basically falls right in line. Now we'll get a weight check here, and we'll bring out the arch nemesis. We like to guess the weight of the knives, and if you want to play along, feel free to put your guess down in the comments and let me know what you're carrying in your pockets today. I love seeing your EDC and loadout. I'm going to give this a shot here. We don't do a ton of slip joint guessing. It's got some heft to it. We got the steel. Let's say somewhere in the neighborhood of 3. I want to go 3.6. 3.6. Oh, it's lighter than I thought. I'll admit that. 3.2 and 90 grams. So not bad. We don't do a ton of slip joints, and it is lighter than I thought, coming in at 3.2. Now let's get a measurement here on our handle and see what we're looking at. Coming in at 0.43 there on our handle thickness. We'll get a reading here on our blade stock, coming in about 115 thousandths. And our behind the edge, we'll get a random spot here just to try to get an idea. And very thin, coming in at 15 thousandths. That is very, very nice. Let's see how the K9 cuts out of the box. And for that, we'll go ahead and use our standard catalog paper here. And a slip joint is meant to be your daily lightweight cutter, right? They're not meant to be a hard use ordeal, batoning it through logs and so on. This is something you get out and you have something very routine very basic to deal with. That is what a slip joint is for, and they have been used for decades upon decades upon decades, and they're still around, still being used, and even more so today. Jack Wolf Knives has definitely revived the slip joint world. There's no question about it. A couple of other companies have attempted to do something like what Jack Wolf has done, and they've done a good job. But Jack Wolf really has brought an entirely different element to the knife world and the production knife world when it comes to slip joints, and now even more so than originally when Jack Wolf came out, because now he's offering slip joints at like the $70 price point that are phenomenal from what I hear. And now the Steel Series, which is going to be a nice middle ground between the budget or $70 models and the $300 models that Jack Wolf offers. This is going to sit right in the middle. Now, I did want to bring out my low drag and see what kind of size we're looking at compared to this. This is one of my favorite Jack Wolf knives ever. This is the first one I ever bought right here, and I just love the blade on it. It's such a utilitarian blade shape, and I want to see what this kind of looks like up against the K9. It is very similar, and I thought that the blades might be pretty close. I love how the blade is shorter here, and then it gets taller as it goes out to the tip. This one, not quite as pronounced, but it does do that. It kind of starts shorter, and then it gets taller as it goes out to the tip there. And look at that beautiful finish on the blade there. That is a nice belt satin finish. I didn't even notice it till it hit the light just right. So very nice finish on the blade. And you can see here, it's going to be a very similar finish that you get on the premium knives, but at a much lower cost. Now, as far as the other variations, out of the Steel Series, you're going to have the saw cut Richlight like you see here. There's also going to be a yellow jigged bone. And then he's doing an ultralight series, which I wasn't even familiar with, but he's going to be doing a blue G10 and a black canvas micarta. And those are going to be even more, I think, or no, are they going to be the same price? That I'm not sure of. I think that they might be the same price, but I'm not 100% sure. I think the ultralight series means they're just lighter weight than the Steel series. So maybe not in price, but in weight. That I'll have to edit in because I'm not sure on the pricing. Some of it's available and I've seen it, and some of it I haven't. But the Steel series, they are going to be right around 150, 160 from what I remember seeing. And that is, you know, right in line with a lot of other slip joints that are out there. Now, varying different materials, you know, that's going to be entirely up to you to decide. I know that the affordable slip joints he put out a couple weeks ago completely sold out across the board. So they were very popular. But you can see that you're going to be getting the same build quality out of the Steel series. It's going to be the same OEM from everything I know. It's just that the material choices are going to be a little bit different, a little bit more affordable. But as far as the fit and the finish, the build quality, all of that, it's all going to be what you would expect from a Jack Wolf Knives. Great finish all the way around. Good transition into that blade. Everything is smooth, flush, and even. We have a couple of torques here for each onlay and a torques for the pivot there. And it should be, that might be a T10 there. Yeah, that's a T10. And our onlays are going to be T8. Everything is nice and tight as well. Yeah, very good. Everything's nice and tight. So we got T10 on the pivot there and T8 on the onlay. Now, I'm sure I already popped it up at some point in time, but you're not going to be getting a tin and pog and all that fancy stuff with this series. This is kind of a no frills. You're just getting the knife type of deal, right? And it's going to come in this nice little box here. You got a sleeve, and then you have a magnetic closure box here, and then an insert for your knife with some candy for the trolls out there. But just a nice, simple packaging here for this series. I really like what Ben has been doing. I know some people are... They want the slip joints, and I get that side of things too. But I think from a business view, I think that Ben doing fixed blades, locking knives, premium slip joints, in the middle slip joints, budget slip joints, I think that expansion, it's good for Jack Wolf, but I think it's good for everyone else who maybe really loves a traditional look, but they want a locking knife, or maybe they want a fixed blade. Months and months later, I am still carrying my Jack Wolf Knives Vampire Fixed. I mean, turning this into a fixed blade was a brilliant idea. You know, whether you like a fixed blade or not, these are really awesome in my opinion. You get a traditional vibe with the clip slip here, leather clip slip, and then I mean just look at some of the stuff that Ben has done. Now what's really cool is I'll link traditional pocket knives down in the description. There are other Jack Wolfs available. There's locking ones available, there's slip joints available, and there might even be different fixed blades available, like the Midnight Fixed or the Vampire Fixed. I think some of that stuff, you know, he's made a lot more in production, so a lot more is going to be available. Now, that's not the case with everything, but there are certain things that hang around a lot longer than they used to, just from the simple fact that he's having a lot more produced. So that's really cool. If you can't jump on it, you know, right when they drop, you hopefully have some time in order to maybe pick one up a week or two later, if not even longer. And really, the last thing to touch on is going to be the walk and talk is phenomenal, just like you would expect from a Jack Wolf. It's really good. Really good acoustics, and you can see here it's going to be very close, if not identical, to the more premium side of Jack Wolf slip joints with the low drag here. You can see that. And as far as how to carry this, this will fit in any small standard slip joint sheath. You can pick those up probably from Jack Wolf. You can pick them up at traditional pocket knives. You can have a custom one made from Lancelot. There's a lot of different options out there in regards to carrying this. You could carry it in a pouch or some sort of leather organizer. Whatever your little heart desires, this will pretty much slide into any type of smaller slip slot, right? I am interested to hear your thoughts on the Steel Series and the K9 Jack here. I always look forward to hearing your thoughts and opinions. Is the K9 Jack something you could see adding into your weekly rotation, or are slip joints not your thing? I look forward to hearing from you. Make sure you share this video with all your friends, all your family. They're going to want to know about Jack Wolf Knives' latest Steel Series drop. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. That helps push the video out there to more people. If you're new to the channel and you enjoy knife and EDC content, you're in the right place. Make sure you subscribe. Ring the bell. That'll notify you when I release new videos, which I do every single day, and I would love to have you here. I'll pop up a couple of new videos on your screen. Go check one of them out. Have yourself an awesome day, and I will catch you on the next one.